Hi and a big welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a ham, specifically a Christmas ham in this instance, but we're going to be taking a good cut of pork here. I've got a 6 kilo lump. This is a whole leg of pork. Now, we've been lucky enough in the past, we've actually raised our own pigs and brought them from piglets up to the full ham. But now we're living in the city, like a lot of you want to get a good bit of pork from the butchers, and then I'm going to show you how to take it from pork to ham. So I've got a pot here with 4 litres of water in. Now we need 6 litres of water in total, but I'm going to just make the brine up with 4 litres, and then at the end I'm going to be adding 2 extra litres to help cool the brine down. And I'm going to add to that 2 kilos of non-iodized salt. Now it's on a stove top. We're warming up the water because it'll make it easier to dissolve the salt and the ingredients that I'm putting in. So in go the 2 kilos of salt. We want to bring that up to a little simmer, let the salt dissolve. Now I'm doing a plain water cure here, but in the past we've experimented with all sorts of things. You can add cider into here, you can add beers and ales, stouts. Almost any liquid can go into this and get different flavors for your pork. But for this instance, I'm doing a plain brine and I'm going to add some spices into this. As well as salt, I'm going to be adding half a kilo of dark brown sugar into this. This will add a sweetness to the meat. I'm adding 30 or 40 juniper berries. Juniper berries actually add a lovely flavor around Christmas time. About 40 or so crushed black peppercorns goes into the mix as well. I'm also adding in some dried bay leaves. Now because I have it in my garden, I'm going to put some leaves of sage in there, and I'm also going to pop some thyme. I'm taking fresh thyme and just dropping that, just pulling it off the stalks straight into the mix. Now you can be as creative as you like with the spices and flavors you put into your brine. Whatever takes your fancy really. You can add chilies in there. As I said before, all sorts of different alcohols are often used to add different flavors and coloring to the ham. Now we need to bring this up to a simmer to let all the solids dissolve, the sugar and the salt. Now this is optional, guys. I'm going to be putting 30 grams, that's about an ounce, of saltpeter into my brine. Now you can choose not to use saltpeter, but I like to use it. It keeps the meat pink. And you can do your own research. Maybe on my website, on my forum later on, I'll put a little discussion up about saltpeter, and you can decide for yourself. Now saltpeter, by the way, is a naturally occurring mineral. And you can usually get it at a chemist, but maybe you might have to go online. In parts of the Mediterranean, saltpeter occurs naturally in the seawater, and I think that's probably where they found or discovered that that particular mineral kept the meat from going a grey colour as it was being cured. Now I don't want to get into a debate really whether saltpeter is good. Some people say it's not good for you, some people, you decide for yourself. You don't have to use it in this recipe, but I'm using it. And yes, I fully understand about nitrites and nitrates. I've actually done a lot of research, and I've actually written a book in the past about home curing, so I know a lot about saltpeter and I'm comfortable using it, guys. Now I've brought my brine up to the boil, a little simmer as it is now, and I'm just going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. You can already start to see that there aren't so many sugar and salt solids on the bottom. It's almost ready. So when you're happy that your solids, your salt has dissolved into the brine, we're going to turn off the heat, let it cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to transfer this over to my brining box. So what is a brining box? Well, to me it is just a Tupperware box. This is a 15-litre box. It's big enough to take my entire leg in here. It's not too big so that we'll take up too much liquid and we'd have to increase our quantities of liquid. But as I say, 15 litres. It's also got a cover that goes over the top of it. Now it's important that you don't use a metal container to brine the meat. The brine will react with metal, so use a plastic container or a safe container that won't react with the brine. So into the box I'm going to put 2 ice cold litres of water. So 1 and 2. Then I'm going to take my hot brine and I'm just going to pour it in to the cold water. Now at that point you will still find quite a lot of solids in the bottom of the saucepan, but we've added another 2 litres of water here now, so they'll start to dissolve. Now we have to let this completely cool down. We can't be putting our ham into this hot water. We've got to bring it down to 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. That's about 37 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Now a little test to make sure that you've actually got the right salination. A potato should comfortably float in that water like that. Although realistically, if you followed the procedure correctly, you shouldn't need to test it with a potato. That's just a bit of fun. Now, other ways you could cool this down would be to put ice in there instead of the extra 2 litres of water. You could put 2 litres of ice in there. But I'm going to leave this for a couple of hours to come down to a temperature that's manageable for the fridge. And for me, this will actually fit in my fridge. And I'm going to leave it in there until the temperature comes right the way down. Now I've allowed my brine to completely cool down. I've actually refrigerated this overnight and the brine is lovely and cold now and it's ready for the meat. So we want to take our joint and we're going to drop it into the brine. And if we've done our measurements correctly, it will fully fill the box that we've got here. Now it's a good idea to try and weigh the meat down so it pushes it down into the brine. I sometimes use a little ramekin like this, and then when the lid goes on that'll push it down. But you do have to then take it out and maybe turn it every day or so. Okay guys, this is going to go into the fridge now for 7 days. I'm working that out at 1 day per kilo. Plus an extra because this is on the bone. Now we're not actually curing this to air dry, this is going to be roasted, so I'm not too worried about fully curing it. You can calculate for yourself how long your piece of ham has to go in. So join me a little closer to Christmas and I'll show you how to roast this up to a beautiful honey roast ham. It's going to be absolutely delicious, beautifully pink and crumbly, just like an old-fashioned ham. Thanks for watching guys. Subscribe, stay in touch, comments down below. I'll see you before Christmas. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. I do have a passion for home cured meats and sausage making and hams and the like. I'll put a couple of other links here to some of my earlier videos. They are the pigs, by the way, in the background. They're pigs, my pigs that I used to keep. And yeah, I'll see you very shortly in that video to make this Christmas ham. Be good. See you then. Couple of Cornish pasties anyway. Now the other day we made some short crust pastry, so you know how to make that, but I'm going to make it again here just to show you how quick and easy it is.